Let's do a mic check. Can you guys hear me okay? Mic check 1, mic check 2. I am having technical difficulties due to, I think, the internet. But let me know if you can hear me or not. Can you hear me? Mic check 1, mic check 2. I look a hot mess right now. I am not going on the camera. Michelle Hardy, what's good? Good afternoon. She says, sound good up here. Thank you. YouTube is good, Preston said. I appreciate it. Thank you. Anyone else out there? Anyone else out there? Having a little bit of technical difficulties with my internet. So I won't be on here long today. I'm a little busy. I mean, you know, I want to spend time with the family today. Thank you, Andrea. Says, hear you just fine. Thank you. Good afternoon, Thomas. Sabrina Calloway, what's up, Queen? She says, I can't hear you good. Let me cut down. Let me get close to the mic. Give me 2 takes. Is this a little bit better? Is this a little bit better? It's better now? Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, I'm just going to chime in for a hot second real fast. I don't have much to say. I just wanted to ask you guys, I just wanted to have a conversation real fast about the Diddy trial. I'll give you my 2 cents. Nothing legal from me, I'll be honest with you, because I wasn't privileged to any of the information outside of whatever they were talking about. Let me get this microphone right. My apologies. Give me 1 second. Okay, Thomas says I can hear you sound great. Thank you. Appreciate it. 1 second. Let me just cut it down a little bit. That may be a little bit better. Pat Rogers, what's up? How you doing, Pat? Said I can hear you just fine. I think we're going to have mixed messages on this Diddy trial, Diddy decision, I should say. I'm gonna wait for a few more people to get in before I give you my opinion. Not necessarily how I feel about the jurors, the judge, the case itself. I'm gonna give you my personal input of how I actually feel about this whole situation. A lot of it has a lot to do with what I seen as a child or as a young man growing up. Sorry, guys, my phone. I'm having a little technical difficulty. The internet is not all that great here, so I'm having a little bit of problem. I hope you guys can hear me. The Diddy situation to me is something that I felt had a strong possibility of doing exactly what it did. Okay, and I mean, he was found guilty on a couple of charges, but the more severe allegations and crimes that were put on him, he pretty much beat those. And it almost sounds to me like it was a smear campaign in a sense. When you overcharge an individual, and you know that this being a federal case, that the audience is not privileged to the information. All they would let you know is there was 42 witnesses that testified against Diddy. Okay, and that sounds like a whole lot. It's a whole lot in any case. It's a whole lot, especially when you're facing a racketeering charge. It sounds like there's a lot of guilt there when you have that many people to pull in, quite honestly. And to be honest with you, here, let me do this so people that are chiming in, they'll know that we're here. let me do this. Since we're talking about Diddy, let's do it like that. Okay. I'm not on the camera today, guys. I'm a little occupied. I'm only coming on here for a short period of time, if you guys don't mind. Um, I have plans for the day. My entire day is booked up, but I did not want to go without having this conversation. I I don't know if guilty. I don't excuse me. I don't know if Diddy is guilty or not guilty of this, but I do know that a jury came with a judgment, and my morals, my principles, tell me that there's a whole lot of truth about what they said about him and what he had pretty much proven out to be. But at the same time, I don't know if he was all they proclaimed him to be as far as this big monster. I know how that Hollywood thing, I know how the Hollywood thing goes when it comes down to people being manipulated and people using power in order to, you know, get position with people. I understand how all of that goes, but um, people make choices in life. You do not have to go to a freak off party. You do not have to involve yourself in things that might be disgusting and outrageous to others, which, I thought all of the things that was coming up, what they were talking about, and some of the witnesses were saying that got released to the public, I thought a lot of it was disgusting, quite frankly. However, you know, I'm sure that there's been a whole lot of situations like this that has happened and it hasn't gotten out like this. I think personally, before I start telling you how I feel about Diddy himself, I'm going to tell you my personal feelings about what I think happened in this situation. I think the powers to be, I don't know if you guys remember. Yeah, I may not be on the camera, but I'm going to always remind you of what we've been talking about over the years. um, Years ago, right here on Wyatt Live, it's been 5 years, 110 days now. I told you guys you have to get permission to be a billionaire in the United States of America. Okay, pretty much on this planet. All right, it's a very small group of people. Might not sound like it, but it's a very small group of people. And you pretty much you have to fit in to what they do. You have to have permission. You have to be able to play by certain rules and do certain things, because a billionaire, quite frankly, could change. Just one billionaire could change how the world goes around. So in order to be in this elite class, this is just my opinion. In order to be in this elite class, you have to be able to play by certain standards and certain rules. Some of those rules are in plain sight. We see them. A lot of them, to be honest with you, are considered to be conspiracy theories. And for me, I understand what these guys have to do in order to get to a certain point in life to accumulate so much, not necessarily money, because what a lot of people don't understand is um, it's it's difficult to become a billionaire. It's not that hard to become a millionaire, but at a certain point, money, money makes itself. So you have to have the resources and the connections once you get a certain status of money. It's really the power that these guys are getting at a certain point when you become a billionaire. The reason why guys like Diddy and Kanye West, and I'll use another one that might rattle some people, people like Tyler Perry. One of the reasons why these guys can get that position is a lot of the times the powers to be believe that they're going to play ball. They're going to do the things that people want them to do, the agenda that's laid forward. I think Diddy, to be honest with you, you guys may not like this, but I think the only one that didn't play by the rules is Kanye West. I think Kanye West is probably one of the only ones, and that's why he's deemed to be crazy. That's why he does have a little bit of nonsense running through his blood. But I think what happens is when you get to a certain point, you try to expose things the way, yes, LaDonna, Oprah as well, but I don't know if Oprah is quite at this level of dysfunction. Okay, I really don't think so. I think Oprah has done a very good job of being able to be one of the she's a sergeant at arms of direction. She gave the go for Tyler Perry to become a billionaire. That's my opinion. My opinion is Oprah had a lot to do with opening the door for Tyler Perry because she knew what Tyler Perry was his agenda and what he would hold down and what he would work, and using the church behind Tyler Perry. That's always a good thing towards the black community. Okay. Every once in a while you heard Diddy say things about God got me, God this, God that. But look at what these guys do that are so ungodly when the cameras are not on them, when they're A&Rs, or they, people that's supposed to be protecting their careers or giving their images out to the public. Look at how they act when they're not being commercialized, being commercialized. Look at how they act. I mean, Diddy, in my mind, I know he beat the case somewhat, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but I think Diddy's a piece of shit. And the reason why I say Diddy's a piece of shit is because regardless if he was guilty of the racketeering and the trafficking and all of that stuff, we all know technically just because you're called not guilty does not mean that you're not guilty. It means they didn't have the evidence, overwhelmingly evidence, to find you guilty. We all know that just because someone can't prove that you did something does not mean that you didn't do it. It doesn't mean, see, I heard some people talk about trafficking people. They act like you have to hold a person hostage with a gun, throw them in the back of a Jeep or a truck, and force them to do things that they don't want to do sexually. And that's not what trafficking humans is. That's not what it is. I mean, I guess you could say, yeah, if you do that, that's trafficking as well. But it's not that complicated. If I go to Phoenix, Arizona, and I grab three young people from the border, whether they're male, female, or whatever they are these days, listen, if I was to grab three people from the border in Phoenix, Arizona, I would be considered a human trafficker if I brought them back to Florida, or if I shipped them to Cincinnati to work for someone. You know what I'm saying? And they're working for as sex slaves. I'm so uncomfortable having a conversation like this. And you're taking advantage of someone that is not capable of taking care of themselves in an economy like what we have here in America. And it's just crazy to me that a person could get away with such abusive behavior. That's just me. I'm not hating on Diddy. You're not gonna tie me up into that bullshit of here he attacking a black man and all that old shit. You're not gonna get me caught up in that, because the same people that want to act like I'm attacking a black man or all that old shit y'all talk about, you ain't saying nothing about the black females and the black males who all had a problem with Diddy. There were more of them than there are Diddy. There's more victims that came out to be victims than Diddy. And all I can say to the people that want to act like, well, they trying to bring down another brother, they trying to bring down another man. Look, man, that's exactly why he's in the position he's in. So those type of people will say those type of things. I'm sorry, you just need to hear it. You need to hear it for what it really is. This was a guy who had a lot of power, and when you use your power to be abusive, you pretty much, it sets the standard of who you really are. Some people are saying, oh, he wasn't abusive, he was just freaky. Man, yeah, that too. That too. But I'm just gonna be honest with you, man. I could care less one way or the other what happened with him. I'm sorry. I don't, I generally, I'm a guy who believes that things come to people. Um, it come to you, your payback comes to you in ways that you never see it. It may not be the court system that's going to pay Diddy for the things that he's done wrong. And I could be totally wrong here. It could be more like Diddy didn't do anything. Diddy just has an extravagant sex life, if you want to call it that. And, maybe nothing that he ever did was criminal. All right. Let's just say, for the sake of the argument that nothing that he did was criminal. I still have to say to you, maybe what he did wasn't criminal, but what about the young ladies and the young boys that didn't want to participate in what he was doing? And he held fame and fortune as he dangled the carrot of fame and fortune over people's heads. Now, at the same time, I got to say the same thing I said about R. Kelly. R. Kelly is only guilty. Diddy is only guilty of what you allow that person to do to you. And as a parent, if you got a 14 or a 15-year-old kid going to Diddy parties, or going to R. Kelly's house, and these things, and these kids become victims, then I have to hold the parents accountable. Oh, my parent accountable conversation is no different. It's always on the parents to me. If the parents are aware of what's going on. Sorry, guys. Like I said, I have a little bit of technical. My computer and stuff is acting up. Well, it's not acting up. I just can't control it with the internet. You hear my contacts coming through. That's just how I feel about it, man. I mean, I know. Twin says Randall Wyatt, quit buffering this verdict. You know damn well FBI knew when, where, what, and how with these celebrities. I'm not. What am I buffering? What am I buffering? I'm telling you what I see. I'm telling you how I see it. I'm telling you what's going on. I just believe that I don't want to go to the extreme and say he got away with murder. But Diddy's no different than the same guys that y'all talk about of that white privilege and all that old shit. This is black privilege at its finest because he has the money to be able to fight this case, and he has certain people in you can call in, Twin. He has certain people in his corner. Now you tell me this. R. Kelly went away for damn near life. He's gone for life pretty much. And there was not 42. There wasn't even half that many prosecuting witnesses in his case. And his case was people that came forward from 30 years ago. From 30 years ago. And Diddy got people that came back for as less than 10 years ago, a decade ago, and piled up 42 witnesses against him. And you trying to tell me they can get a conviction on R. Kelly, but they couldn't get a conviction? And I know a lot of people are going to say, but Wyatt, it's different charges. I understand that. I truly understand it's different charges. Half of this is guilt. Half of this is smear campaign. Breaking into the house, not breaking in, but, search warranting the house, his homes, walking out with videotapes and things of that nature, showing it, calling the news media, letting them know they were going to do these things. That's all to pretty much put him in the eye of, that's kind of what the feds do. They want public prosecution. So I understand. Don't think that I'm totally naive of what's going on here. Don't think that I'm totally naive of what's really happening with the image of Diddy and the other things. I get it. But like I told you, you can't be charged for any of this if they don't have enough evidence to bring at least a charge, and then to get an indictment. They had something. Trust me, they had something. It was just very hard for them to prove, because you got to understand, Diddy and his team understood that the same people who were trying to break into the industry are the same people that might need that industry in the near future. You don't know how many people were calling around trying to finagle and wiggle Diddy out of certain things. What's that guy's name? The big guy, Clyde Davis, and them kind of guys. Clyde Davis act like he didn't even know Diddy. He turned straight C now. Who? Diddy? What? He turned straight C now when reporters was asking him about Diddy. He's known him 20, 30 years of his life. He know who he is. These are highly influential people, billionaire status, that can make things move. I just don't understand why people, I don't know. I don't know. It's funny because we say things like they just trying to tear that man down. They just trying to tear that black man down. But nobody says anything about the black people that he's hurt. Look at all of the previous groups that he managed or was on his label or whatever position here. Any good stories? From Making the Band to Black Rob to Al B. Shore to any of these guys to his last past girlfriend. He took that woman from Al B. Shore. You know that, right? Does anybody other than a fan have anything good to say about Diddy outside of, the music industry, the human being? Y'all notice that Mary J hasn't said anything about Diddy, and they go way back. Mary J getting money with 50 Cent. 50 Cent don't like Diddy. Think about that. Think about how much truth came out of Cat Williams' mouth. Why would Diddy come out of his mouth if they don't know what's going on? They knew. Cat Williams been talking about those Diddy parties. They just didn't call them freak-offs. He called them Hollywood parties. He been talking about them parties for 10 years. So it was not a coincidence when he said 2025, they're going to turn up. They're going to turn up. And I don't care who you are. Now, these are Cat Williams' words. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you Diddy. I can remember that. I don't care if you Diddy. I don't care who you are. They coming for you this year. Nobody thought anything of it when he said it at the time. I know exactly who he was talking about. Ronald Dixon said Diddy did all that shit. Of course he did. But I want to hear everybody talk that privilege. See, you'll never hear people say black privilege. This is what black privilege look like right here. The reason why R. Kelly went to jail, is because he didn't have that billionaire. He didn't have the same resources. You think Diddy's team got him off by admitting he had an extravagant life and that he just liked freaky lifestyles and that everybody just agreed to what he wanted to do with baby oil and all these other things? I don't care nothing about the baby oil. All that shit is just kicks and giggles for the people out here in regular world. That's what that shit is. But the truth of the matter is, Diddy's no different than the R. Kelly situation. R. Kelly just didn't have the same resources. Diddy's legal team didn't win this fight. Bring whoever you want in to debate me on that. It was Diddy's influence away from the courtroom. It was Diddy's connections. All right? Because they know. And they had to sit his ass down. Diddy started getting a little crazy. Remember that start our own party shit and all this old other stuff? And then he challenged the people that gave him the $100 million deal and the vodka deal and all that. Bruh, these are the people that control the money getters. Troy said racketeering RICO charges are typically difficult to beat. They are in federal cases. You can beat the shit out of a RICO case at the state level. You know what I'm saying? But usually the feds won't even come at you with a racketeering or a RICO charge if they don't have signed affidavits of people that's going to swear on the Bible that they were part of an organized crime ring. Think about that. This was either one of two things, not to try to sound all obvious or try to sound like some brain surgeon or anything like that. I'm not trying to do that. Hold on one second. Did I miss a call? Yeah, I missed a call. I'm sorry. Feel free to call back. I had my phone in the, it was sitting somewhere else. But the truth of the matter is, man, this was your, what do they used to call it? Ninja wake up call. He was getting out of control. Sort of like what they did to Kanye West, but they knew that he was a medicine head. They knew that they could make him look crazy. They didn't have to set him up with anything like this because Diddy was more organized and he's more of a corporate, he's more of an industry guy. Kanye was probably getting to that point as well. But Kanye West came out as being more independent than Diddy. Diddy was playing in the politics. He was backing politicians. He was talking to politicians. It was die or vote. He was talking bad about certain politicians. He was talking good about other ones. And then he started wanting to do things the way he wanted to do things. And that's not how billionaire status work. That's just not how it works. And people like Tyler Perry and these guys, you know, look, do you ever notice that these people that have money and power and influence all face the same type of difficulties in life when it comes down to, like, everybody wants to say that it's the innocent or it's the person out here just trying to get paid. Everybody wants to say that. I don't believe that. Now, some would argue with me because I've made the point that I felt like Bill Cosby was not guilty. I think Bill Cosby was not guilty of what they said he did. And I know he didn't sign a sworn affidavit saying that he drugged women unwillingly on their end, unwillingly on their end. I know he didn't sign that. But I know he signed an affidavit saying that there was drugs involved. And if somebody wants to show me where he said that he gave women drugs unwillingly and without them knowing about it, feel free to bring that paperwork forward. But the truth of the matter is, Bill Cosby went through this same situation. And one of the reasons why he was able to beat it, of course, it was because, you know, the prosecutor's office dropped the ball. They did something. They switched officers, you know, on the case, and it just got messy. And they already had a signed statement from Bill Cosby saying that he was involved in the drug usage, in the drugging of women. But I think people got that on. I don't think it's what you think it is. I think Bill Cosby was doing drugs with those women. What's up, Angela? Angela said, what was here? I'm going to grab it for you real fast. Let me see here. There were 5 counts that he was facing. Count 1 was racketeering and conspiracy, which could have got him pretty much life. I think it's a life sentence on those cases. All right. Count 2 was sex trafficking. Let me go back to the first one. Count 1 was racketeering and conspiracy. He was found not guilty on that. That could get you life in prison, federal prison. Count 2 was sex trafficking. He also was found not guilty in the sex trafficking. I personally believe that he was guilty on both. But when you don't have anyone that could, I mean, they have bank records, they have payments, they have receipts pretty much of showing how these people were compensated. But once they say that they were compensated and they knew prehand of what they were getting into, then it's racket, you know, it's not a conspiracy anymore. In my opinion, I think it shadows conspiracy. That's what I think. I think it's a fine line. I think it's there. But these people have to pretty much say, yeah, yeah, we really didn't know. We really didn't know. But they knew. And they probably were cross-examined, and it was coming out like, hey, you came multiple times, and you came multiple times and you knew what you were getting into. So any reasonable doubt goes to the defendant. So count three was transportation to engage. Pardon me, the screen is moving. Count three, Angela, was transportation, engage in prostitution. He was found guilty on that. Count four was sex trafficking. He was found not guilty on that. Count five, transportation to engage in prostitution. He was found guilty on that. Black Papa, how am I trying to sell him out? I don't give a shit about Diddy. I didn't care if he won or lost. But I also know that there were more people that were pretty much hurt in this situation. Are you one of those that say the black man, the black man, the black man? You okay with the black man damaging the community too, right? You okay with the black man? You okay with the black man dragging people down the hall? You okay with that? You okay? I know better than that, bro. Well, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't know better than that. Maybe I don't know better than that. All I'm saying to you is this. These people are put in position because things have gone on in their life for a very long time. Trina says, I'm okay with it, Pops. He says, I'm okay with it. Yeah, look, man, listen. The only thing that I'm mad at, to be honest with you, if I could share my emotional piece, is I don't like the fact that he was able to get away with certain things that I know that he did detrimental to people's life. You see what I'm saying? I just don't know anybody that's ever had. I mean, people that he put on. Are you really being put on if there's a price to pay? Trina says, Black Popeye says, I'm okay with mofo getting away with life. You mean him getting away with not doing life? What about the lives that he ruined? I don't think people do that to themselves. I think you have a slight point. Some people do it to themselves by engaging in people like this. Stephanie Hyde, what's up, cuz? She says, Wyatt, do you think Diddy will do the entire 20 years? And if not, why? No, I don't think he'll do 20 years because he doesn't have a criminal record. What is he? I haven't looked it up, but is the 2 counts maximum? Is he maxed out at 10 years on each one? They can either run concurrent or, I don't know. So is he facing 20 years? He'd be lucky to get, on those cases, to be honest with you, with no record or anything, he'll probably get out today. I don't know if that's the case. I haven't been watching it. But there's a strong possibility that he may get out today. It's a strong possibility that he may have to report once he's sentenced. I don't think they're going to give him a slap on the hand, but it's just slap on the hand considering what he was facing. Anytime you're facing life and you might do maybe 5 or 6 years, that's a slap on the hand. And he pretty much has on like a year served, time served. So he'll probably go away for 3 years, maybe 2.5, 3 years. And, that's nothing compared to what he was facing. But you got to look at it. I think we all need to pay attention to why this even happened in the first place. Why is Diddy in this position? Why were there so many people willing to come forward. They had to throw away the arson charge on the rappers, the other rapper guy who was messing with Cassidy. They had to throw that case out. And the reason why they threw that case out is because somebody got to that young man. Somebody got to that dude and said, hey, man, listen, you're going to have to get, this has to go away. You got to keep in mind, Black Popeye, Diddy made his choices as well. Don't put it on the white man. He chose to deal with him. If you want to say that this is a white man's play and the conspiracy of the white man and all that old shit, Diddy got in bed with him. I guarantee you there, out of those 42 people, there were more black people that was damaged by Diddy than there were white people. So when we going to hold Diddy responsible for what he may have done to us? It puzzles me how people always want to try to single out the one that's being charged or the one that's the forefront of the situation. You know, it's the dope dealer on the corner. We want to, oh, you don't got to drag him. You ain't got to do him like that. You ain't got to that. But you have not thought about how much poison he's sold to your people. And we always protect the Tony Montanas. Everybody want to go for the bad guy. Nobody wants to protect the innocent people. Not so much innocent, but the vulnerable. Nobody wants to protect those people. It's amazing. The same ones that say that the black man getting drugged and this and this and this and that. Y'all don't say nothing about the black women or the black men that was abused by this guy. It amazes me. Let's go to the phone lines real fast. Now, this might be a little messed up because my internet and all that out here is messed up. But for y'all that just don't understand where I'm coming from, y'all can go away. I don't care. You ain't got to be here. No disrespect, okay? I'm just telling you my opinion. All right, there's plenty of things you can do and go and hold, you know, go to them homes and them people that want to hear that shit about all that old crazy shit you thinking. Look, my opinion is my opinion. Let me bring in a phone call. I'm sorry. Hold on one second. I'm working on a skeleton situation here. Bear with me. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with? I'm sorry, caller. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, what's Twin? How you doing today, bro?
I can't call. Beautiful day in the neighborhood.
What's on your mind, man?
Did you hear your girl on there, the link to wear today?
No, I'm a little tied up today. What's going on?
I probably thought you heard on there, Jasmine Crockett.
No, I did not. I can only imagine, but no, I did not hear it.
I want to know. Tell me this, Wyatt.
Okay.
So when you don't agree with someone, any black woman, that means you hate a black woman since you don't agree with the crowd.
No. It happens for black men too.
I'm just saying, as a black man, if I don't agree with that woman, I'm saying she ain't right and all that, and you don't like black women. Come on, man. I came out the monkey spot of a woman. So what are you telling me? I don't agree. I was raised by a woman, and my dad too. So how is it that I don't agree with? I don't like black women. Come on, man.
Well, no, I'm assuming
I'm in a relationship with a black woman. Okay. I had kids by a black woman. Right. I have black sisters. Come on, man.
I hear you. I think what you're saying is the same thing that what I'm saying. I don't know what happened on the other shows and stuff. I'll be honest, but we're talking about.
It don't have to be on no other show. I'm just saying.
No. I'm trying to.
If you don't agree with a person,
right, Twin. I'm trying to get to what you're talking about. What I'm saying is the same thing that I'm saying right now. There are people that because I have the opinion that I have of Diddy. They make it racial. It's about me not standing up and helping black men. And that's not what it's about. Because my opinion is different and it happened to be a different opinion and a black man is on the other side of it. Why are you making this about me not liking black men or me attacking black men? I see the comments in the screen. All right, it's not me attacking black men. It's me. Maybe there's more victims that this black man has victimized. That if it's a color thing, look at how many black people got affected by this individual. People use that you don't like black women and you don't like black men. That is a tool, bro. Please stop asking me about that, twin, because I didn't told you 20 times. It is a manipulative tool for you not to say anything.
I understand it, but it cracks me up. If you don't go, it seems like you don't go with they get along, whatever, and you're not black.
Well,
so I'm like, man, what the
hell? Okay, well, is Diddy black?
I'm assuming. I'm looking at him on TV.
Did he
used to listen to his music?
Did he victimize black people? Don't forget, he might be found not guilty on the shit that's sending him to life, but he still.
Man, I'm about to get back to him though.
Wait a minute, twin. What? All I'm saying is he may have been found not guilty on the charges that would have sent him away for life, but he was still found guilty on 2 charges that are familiar, that are similar to the ones that had the higher sentences.
Cause you looked at that transportation of a prostitute. You might well put it on a racketeering deed and all that. Them two almost go together. But let me tell you this, Wyatt. I'm about to open this can of worms right quick. Wyatt, anytime you're a profile celebrity like him with the billions, see, when you cross that path, you cross the elites like that. See, Wyatt, top authority know what you're doing at all times. The elites. Someone that's over his head, them billionaires. Man, they got FBI agents all across your ass. They send them around your circle, man. They know what you do. This been going on 20, 30 years. They've been doing this from day one, Wyatt. I'm sorry. They've been doing this from day one, man. What you do and what you don't do, all that with your surround, where your money going and all that. They know all about that. So this nothing new. I don't feel sorry for none of them. Cassie, none of them, man. They been knowing all that's going on. If you look at the timeline, okay, Bill Combs, he got drugged the people up. R. Kelly, he did this. Now, Cassie, come on, it's a timeline. If you ain't been watching newscast, you know how R. Kelly, what he did back in 08 and all that. Here's in 2016, you getting your head cracked. You must like it. They know everything what's going on, man. They just trying to, buffer the situation about him. Wyatt? They know. They're at least know. What you call me like, hey man, what you on?
Twin,
they went to them jury. Them elites went to them juries. Hey, you can find them guilty on this and all that, but don't find them guilty on the racketeer. That racketeer would have threw his ass for life. That man, he either coming home, he either go do 5, or the dude go say time served. And he go get a bond. He might get a bond, but he only can go to 3 places: Miami, New York, and LA. They go revoke their passport. Right. Come on, Wyatt. They know what you just like why you think Jordan and all them don't speak about. Jordan, you know people been getting killing over your school, over your shoes and all that. No, I ain't gonna mess up my money. Hell with this. Hell with them kids right now. Let them keep buying my Jordan. Jordan ain't never one time came and spoke about since them Jordan been coming out in '85. Ain't never came out. People getting killed and strapping in the mall over them Jordans. He never say, hey, can y'all please stop the violence over my shoe? Come on, Wyatt. They know what's going on, man. They can know how to stop this crime. But you know what? They got to make money, Wyatt. They making money out there. When they send us to the joint, they making money, man. Right. Come on. Well, people don't understand that. But so I don't feel sorry for hoes like that. Hell with her and whoever else. I think that's how I feel, not stand on it.
I know. And I'm not here to try to knock you off for whatever you think or believe. I just have a different perspective of what you're saying. I believe that people, and look, man, I just be honest, bro. Like some people have the need or the want to be famous, okay, and they don't have the indoor like a lot of people who have, like Diddy's from New York, okay, he had an indoor. He was in the city of fame and fortune at the right time, okay. New York was the mecca of hip hop and things of that type of stuff, right? So there was, I mean, bro, do you know there's producers, there's dancers, there's singers that's all sitting at home right now that's better than a lot of these guys, but they just may not be the chosen one. They may not be the one that had the indoor to be able to get these positions. Diddy was in a position and being in New York. He worked for, Uptown Records, and he did a lot. He was positioned himself to be in a position that he's in now in the record industry. Okay. There's a lot of people that started out like Diddy that chose that didn't get selected to move on to the the next level of what's going on here. I know this might sound complicated, but it's not. It's very simple to me. Diddy was somebody that Clyde Davis and all the rest of them could trust to pass on a certain lifestyle, to keep things the way they needed to keep it. And sometimes even the apprentice becomes bigger than the teacher. All right. And sometimes they have to knock the apprentice down back to where they belong. And I think this has a lot to do with what that is. Clyde Davis and all the rest of them, in my opinion, are just as guilty with Diddy, or just as guilty as Diddy is in these cases. I don't think Whitney Houston and all these people get on drugs, Michael Jackson, all these people get on drugs on their own. I think there's a level of influence. See, I've been around famous people, just like a lot of people here. I'm not saying that I'm any better or anything, but I've been around famous people, and I just really understand how normal they really are. Like they're influential. People could convince them and influence them that things are what they're supposed to be, even when it's bad for them, drugs, things of that nature. A lot of people are on drugs in that industry. A lot of people do the things that money and power allow them to do that they couldn't do if they were just normal individuals. And all I'm saying to you, bro, is you say that it's the people who involve themselves with Diddy, it's their fault. I have a different outlook on that, because some people, let me try to simplify it and say this, and I could be totally wrong, but there's some people that stay on a job because they think the only job that they can get is the one that they own right now, and they deal with a lot of bullshit, and they don't get paid a whole lot of money to deal with that bullshit, but they have kids at home that they have to feed. They have certain situations in their life that, a lot of people don't like change. So I'm rather go through the bullshit I got to go through than go out and try to find a new job, because nothing's guaranteed. So I'll deal with the bullshit. That same mentality is the mentality that somebody that was dealing with R. Kelly may have as a youngster. Someone that wants to be in an industry, and he's the only indoor that they have. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I can't go anywhere else and get an opportunity to sing for a superstar like R. Kelly, or I can't go anywhere else and be a superstar. I got Diddy right here in front of me. So if I got to do what I'm doing, I got to do what they do, and I see all of them successful people are doing it, then I'm going to go ahead and sell my soul to the devil as well. And I think they get taken advantage of. I don't think everybody that was doing what was being done really agreed with it or wanted it to happen. Some people are willing to pay any price for where they want to go. I understand that, to be honest with you, bro. I've risked it all to be able to do some of the things that I've been able to do in life. I had to put the rent money on the table. You understand? I had to make one bet with the rent money. A lot of people wouldn't do that.
Right, but
so
go ahead. Like I say, man, they know what was going on, and he didn't fold.
When you say they know, I'm confused. When you say
the elites, man, every elites know what's going on. They control Diddy, man.
Twin, there's no doubt. I don't think anybody's doubt. I don't think anybody has.
No, I'm just saying, people like, but he did this, and the people that y'all had to wait. Hey, I'm gonna come at y'all, and he was influencer. He influenced a lot of people. Hey, you want to do drugs? It's up to you to do the drug, but that's the lifestyle you want to live. I want to be in Diddy camp. That's how they was looking at it. And then Wyatt to sit up here, man, and it's so much, man. This child just crazy, man. It's just crazy. This ain't nothing about no damn cast. This about him suing them billionaires. That's all it's about. They say, okay, we're gonna make you an example out of you, Negro. You think you playing with us? We're gonna make an example out your ass. Well, this ain't about no damn cast. They knew what was going on years ago with Cass and other freak offs. They been know about that, Wyatt.
Right.
They just want to bust this stuff up, man. They know about it.
Well, let me help you.
Keep us in the dark, but hey, if you been, go ahead.
I just want to say something about what I'm older, bro. I'll lose train of thought. When you say something, I want to try to correct or try to make it make sense to me. When you say something, I got to understand it. When you say that he sued them, I don't think Diddy sued anybody. I think he went public with some statements and some comments about what position he was in.
That lawsuit. What are you talking about?
Which one you talking about?
the Deo liquor store, that brand.
Well, that
He
was
sued them and he won that case.
yeah, but
And
that
they
was
said, okay, we about to make you an example, Negro. You think you better than us? And that's when they came out with the charge. Hey, remember this back in 2016? You beat our ass in a hotel. Remember you drugged and blew up Cuddy car? Remember that? Hey, let's go back some more. Come on, Wyatt.
I think
Stop
no,
it.
but I'm not.
Stop it, player.
What am I? Am I defending something here that you see wrong?
Yeah, you probably is. On a low key, down low. You
No,
probably
I'm
is.
trying to let you know why he got in trouble with the liquor company. It wasn't just because the lawsuit. The lawsuit was about royalties. It wasn't about anything other than the fact that he felt his value was devalued of his royalties. Then he went off and said he went behind their back and tried to go to the vineyards themselves and come up with his own company doing exactly what they're doing. The lawsuit, okay, what was your perception of the lawsuit? What did you think he sued them for?
He sued their ass. He sued their because probably his name recognition, man. He was going. He was going. They said they was doing a 60-40 deal with him. Like, no, that's my stuff. He wanted all of it. Like, no, this can't be yours.
No, what they were trying to do was block him from doing his own deal. He had to sue them.
Of course.
Right.
And that's why he went out and then he sued and won. And they said, okay, you want to play with us? And then that's when the charges came. That's why all the allegation is. If you don't do what them white folks tell you to do, okay, we're going back 30, 40 years on your monk ass. Remember you raped that girl with them drugs?
Here's what I got a problem with. Here's what I got a problem with when people say stuff like that.
Stop it, Wyatt. You know damn well they've been doing this 30, 40 years. Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, all that. Soon as you don't do what they say, off with your damn head.
Okay, but
from the Prince to all that.
Okay.
Think about it, man. Prince, Michael, and R. Kelly, all with Sony. What happened? 2 dead and 1 in jail. Come on, man. So now, you don't do what they say, off with your head.
So now this is Sony's thing.
With them 3 years, and then he brought too much hype man to the stage, and them billionaires along them leaf like, man, calm that noise down. What you doing? So that's what happened.
Now let's get to the accountability part of it all. Okay, for argument's sake, I'm gonna agree with everything you just said. Okay, for argument's sake, everything you just said, I agree with. Okay, but now, what do they have over his head?
What they had over his, they don't have none over his head now.
No. What did they have over his head? What were they holding against him?
They was holding everything, his money back, his selling his Reebok network.
You know what I'm talking about. You trying
liquor and all that. Come on, man. That's over his head.
No.
We gonna make it. Look what they did to Russell Simmons. You see, he being quiet.
Okay.
Being quiet about the thing. What he do?
And what do
he went to another damn country.
Right. And what do they have over his head? Over Russell
Simmons. His business.
Okay,
You would never make a dime in the United States. Hey, just go away and then you can run your business over there. But you gonna be quiet about this situation. What has he been done? He been doing nothing. He been quiet as a church mice.
I don't think you understand what I'm asking you. I really don't think you understand.
You just asking what they had over his head. What you think? His money, his business.
Okay.
His power that your ass ain't gonna do this no more.
No, that's not what they're holding over his head.
Okay, what they holding?
Those are his assets that he'd stand to lose from the things that they're holding over his head.
So what they hold over his head then?
Okay, so what do you think his lifestyle has been about?
Music.
Oh,
money, really? Selling Ciroc. John clothes.
Okay,
whatever.
I'm talking about
whatever else. His lifestyle.
You brought Russell Simmons in it. I'm talking about Russell Simmons.
Oh, he had his business.
Did you think that's what they're holding over his head?
Man, they was holding over his head. What else was holding, man? What else he got going on?
I'll repeat.
Def Jam Records.
I'll repeat myself. Those are his businesses. I'll repeat. Those are his assets that he stands to lose for the things that they're holding over his head. Now, what are they holding over his head?
You said his assets.
Okay. No, what they're holding over his head is his actions. The things that he chose to do in life. The smart, like where you see where R. Kelly's is right now. It wasn't his assets that they were holding hostage. It was his lifestyle and the things they knew that he did. That
I just repeated that, man. What are you talking about?
All right. Well, all right. My bad. Damn, my fault.
What the hell are you talking about? I just said it, lifestyle and all that. What are you talking about? You trying to act like Emmanuel today?
No, my fault. My fault. I thought you said they were holding his businesses over his head. That's what I thought I heard you say.
No, I said mention lifestyle and all that.
Okay, my
what
bad.
He was doing.
My bad. You're right, twin. My apologies. You're right. I'm wrong. But I know what I'm talking about here. And their assets are one thing, but what they're holding over their heads is the same thing that they were holding over Diddy's head, same thing they were holding over R. Kelly's head, same thing that they holding over Tyler Perry's head, same thing they holding over Hugh Hefner's head, the same thing they holding over Epstein's head, the same thing they holding over all the rest of them that got something that they can't stand to let somebody get out there and know about. They stand to lose their businesses, but it's because of their actions. Now, I don't know about Oprah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to put Oprah in there. I don't know nothing about Oprah, to be honest with you. I know she a gatekeeper, but I don't know what they may have over her head. I don't know. I don't even care, to be honest with you.
Man, that bring them damn kids. Remember them kids you holding hostage over there getting raped.
I mean,
That's
it could be that, man. But
you know that damn they got over her ass. That's why she ain't said nothing. We shouldn't rape these kids. She ain't come against no damn rape, abuse, child sexual abuse and all that. She's shutting up. Why you think Jordan ain't saying nothing about the killing, man? Wake up, man. You sleep on that beach or something, man? No, wake up, man.
No, I think that
man, I'll just look at reality, man. See, man, this ain't all about no damn coochie, man. It's about damn going against the grind, man. Going against them folks. That's all it's about, man. We gonna make you a believer, Negro. We gonna sit you down. You talk too much. You say you bitch, you better than them white folks. We gonna show you how better you better than us. We gonna show your little monk ass. Yeah, take these charges. Take that. Come on, man. That's how it is. R. Kelly, you believe you can fly? How high you can fly?
Okay.
Cause what you doing with the Jello pudding?
Well,
come on, man.
If you notice, to be honest with you, twin,
I agree with you with 100 with the actions.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
You go shut your ass up.
I don't disagree with what the premise of what you're trying to say. I don't disagree with you at all.
I don't have no sympathy for him, man. None of them Vicks. I don't at all.
Any of those who?
Them victims, man. I don't have victims, man.
That to me is where we kind of differ.
I don't, man. Well, that's my point of view. I don't, because you knew what was going on in the circle. Y'all understand?
Wait a minute.
Y'all looking for a come up, and y'all couldn't go.
Wait a minute. Do you blame a 14 or a 15-year-old little girl that R. Kelly may have violated? You blame her?
What was their parents said when it happened?
Wait a minute.
What was their parents said when it happened?
Okay, so do you not feel
they was right there agreeing with that shit? Go ahead on, Wyatt. Okay, they sit back there in the dressing room, wait for their ass to come out. Okay. Oh, I like her.
Okay, hold on.
I like tell her, bring her back.
Twin,
come on, man.
I agree. For argument's sake, I agree with what you just said. The parent, right? But you don't have any sympathy for the child? The child didn't.
I had them young, yeah. But you're a grown ass 19, 21-year-old. Yeah, you know better. You looking for a come up. The little youngster, yeah, I do. Come on, man. I got a damn daughter.
Exactly, bro. You just said you don't have any sympathy for the victims.
Okay, let's
what about the people who are trying to be professionals in the music industry, like the girl group that he put together, Destiny or Decane or whatever they call it. Decane.
Man, it's selling your soul, man.
So all I'm saying to you, bro, there's several groups and several people from the rap game to all the way to the R&B game. None of the people that's ever been on his label felt like they were treated right, and they went through hell because he was a monster. He was a monster to them people, bro. And these people had their careers riding on a monster. All right, an opportunity for them to be the greatest or be the best at what they try to do in life. What if you woke up every day and went to work at Kroger and your supervisor knew? I'm just hypothetically saying this part of you, twin. I don't mean this.
It might can come true. I mean, I don't mean I agree with it if it's true. Just say it.
Okay, I don't mean this literally. But what if you were able to get your job at Kroger because your manager made an exception and allowed you to come in because you had some felonies on your record that nobody would hire you. And you were in a position where you knew this is the only job that I can get right here at Kroger, because if I go to UPS, they're not going to hire me. If I go to Winn-Dixie, they're not going to hire me. If I go to Publix, they're not going to hire me. And your manager pretty much knows that this is the only indoor that you have at this life, at this work, This is the only way you can pay your bills. And your manager treated you like shit every day, or came on to you because he had a homosexual, way of living or whatever, and he came on to you all the time, or made your life a living hell every day that you came to work, knowing that this was the only way that you could work.
If I feel that way, they say God said one door closed, the other one open up. Well, I'm going to the next. I'm feeling so much frustration, the way Twin set up and my mindset, and the way I'll crash out. I'll try my best, until I find enough, get my 2 weeks in. Hey, I found a good one. Somebody else blessed me with another door to walk through. This door right here's got to be closed. I'll close that chapter. On to the next one. That's how I take it like that, man. Ain't nothing gonna hold me back. I'm not gonna try to be hold back.
And you know what? You hear what you just said?
And I keep on getting abused every day and all harassed and all that. I'm getting it now, Wyatt.
But you know what,
I'm getting it now.
And I believe
I'm precious, and people come to me like, man, you should just do this. No, I deal with it. I know how to figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out and try to make it the best. Twin, I'm getting it now, real talk.
Twin,
and I'm glad you brought that up.
I believe you. Guess what, Twin? Did you hear what you just said? Because that's what pretty much people that have, strong individuals, strong people think that way. What you just said is, I'm gonna get through it. I gotta do what I gotta do. And okay, that's exactly how some of these victims see going through the things that they're going through with people, monsters like Diddy, and people like, people like Tyler Perry. There's people that saying, Tyler Perry is really I can't go to Hollywood. I can't get a role in Hollywood. Tyler Perry is my only opportunity to do what I really want to do, and he's my end. But he's pinching me on the butt. And I don't mean that literally. I'm just saying he's pinching me on the butt. He's hitting me up on the DM. He's talking to me crazy. And I can't really leave. And everybody knows, he has the money to build your career. He has the status. He has everything. He has a whole studio to make you the next Denzel Washington. Some people would put up with that behavior and that dysfunction that they have to deal with every day because they're strong-minded individuals. All those people aren't weak. Some of them are doing anything and everything they have to do in order to make it. It's sad, but that's what they're doing. And it's no different than you saying you will go to work every day and you'll deal with what you got to deal with because you have to. A lot of people in this world, especially in America, go to jobs every day and they can't stand it, but they know that rent due at the end of the month.
You ain't never lying about that.
Exactly.
I like real talk. I'm glad you brought it up, though, because I go through the situation like last night. Big issue. Why this not done that and all that? The third, and we're gonna have you on probation and all that. And before I lose my job, hey, some gotta give. I just been too lenient and everything, and I'm a fair guy and everything. I believe in second chance, all that. But damn, if it gotta come down to me losing my job because of y'all stupidity and y'all not doing it, hey, some gotta give. And I'm glad you brought it up because to me, hey, it's a shakedown, man. They go see the real twin. They just know me by Eugene, but they gonna know the real twin tonight and next day too when it's all said and done. I'm not gonna lose my job because of y'all. Y'all don't want to listen, and I don't believe in all that. Write them up and not. No, we can have a talk. You want to pencil with that people all the time, and you run your own people out, and that's how a couple of people ran through. You talking to them crazy. It's the way you handle the situation. You writing people up, suspend them and all. That's not go get it. Because I hate got to train somebody else, and especially, I deal with you, and certain people got slow learning and all that, and I politely ask, hey, you been, can you understand it? I got ADHD and all that. I said, I'm glad you honest about it. I said, but I'll help you though. One dude got smart with me, man. Okay, man, we not gonna do that. We not gonna do that. Now it's like, hey, twin, I'm done. Hey, what you want me to do next? He cool now, Wyatt. But it's the way you handle people. It's not, I'm gonna write you up and all that. I threatened a couple of people like that, but just threatening them. Hey man, speed it up a little bit. I know you're capable of doing it and all that, but speed it up, man. It's gonna fall back on me. And I get tired of it. I don't be want to go there all the time. As soon as I step through that damn sliding doors and turn left or right and all that, and hey, man, this thing. But that rent dude, Cardinals dudes, baby need food and all that. Everything, man. They say I'm gonna stop 24/7, baby. So man, I go with the flow, Wyatt, and y'all understand people's situation, what they go through, but damn it,
But you
I can't
still,
go, man.
but you still, I would think, just by everything you just said, I would think
Yeah,
that you would have a little bit more compassion of the people who were victimized by people like Diddy and people like, people like him. And it's not an attack on a black man.
as I
It's not
said
an
for the
attack.
last 10 years, well, it seemed like a come up to me, man. A
It's
Me
not.
Too ass movement insurance fraud,
Well,
a come up. Come
first of
on, if
all,
you just look everywhere you turn around, well, JJ LaQuisha just sued Gatorade. Man, what you suing Gatorade for? You been drinking Gatorade all your life. Come on,
what
what they do now? Race everything racist now. Man, come on,
well,
it's crazy,
all I'm
man.
saying is, man, you can't hold anything over my head that I didn't do. Okay, you can't hold me hostage by my actions if my actions aren't bad. Okay,
That's
so
right. That's true.
well then that's why your boy then moved out of the country. That's why Diddy facing these charges. That's why Bill Cosby had his situation going on. That's why Tyler Perry's looking at what he's doing. That's why you know, there's several. I don't
What's
want to sit
called on the
here.
chopping block now? Fat Joe.
Well, him too, all of them. I
He
mean,
got allegations now.
there was a situation. I'll be honest with you, bro. If I can share this with you, I always tend to try to bring something real to the conversation that happened to me. There was one time that I was working. This was in Cincinnati. I had a client. I thought was a client. No, let me back up. This young girl was not a client. She just happened to be in the courthouse. She stopped me in passing because she seen me sitting in the courtroom. I seen her walk out because some guy, her boyfriend or somebody, got in trouble. She walked out of the courtroom. She was puzzled. I didn't know who she was. I'm sitting there. 10 minutes later, I walk out of the courtroom. She's still in the hallway in the Justice Center. She approaches me and asks me, she asked me about something regarding that guy. Okay. And I was like, sweetheart, I don't know. I don't know anything about that case. But if you go into courtroom, if you go into room 107, they'll give you the slip of what the judge said. I gave her the proper information, right? She went in, she came back out. She showed me the slip, and then I did my explanation. I gave her my card, and I told her, if there's anything I can do for you, you guys call me. You can call me. My office is right across the street. You know what I'm saying? Over by the casino. I told her all of this. I don't know how long ago, maybe about an hour later, I'm at the office. She comes knock on the door, or she comes to the door, and she comes in and she explains to me, the case, what was going on. It wasn't, he didn't really do this to me. I think it was a domestic violence situation. He didn't do this to me, blah, 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 blah. And then I do what I normally do. And unfortunately, when it comes to younger people, whether it's, and there's people, men and women who are older now, who I've talked to 10, 15, 20 years ago at the beginning of their downfalls of criminality. You understand what I'm saying? And I tried to school them in it. I tried to talk to this young girl. She probably was about 20, 21 or something. I tried to talk to her as if she was almost like a daughter to me. Now, this was probably about 15, almost 20 years ago. But these type of things stick with me. I tried to guide this young lady to maybe step away from doing things and be in a position that you're in right now so this guy can't do this to you. Do you know that the police knocked on my door the next day? The
Wow.
next day, I had a card from a detective in my box in my office. Mr. Wyatt, please give us a call. I called the detective. The detective had me go down to, I believe it was District 1 over by Taft. I go in there, and all of a sudden I'm now being interviewed. And I'm trying to understand, like, what am I being interviewed for? What's going on here? This young lady went in and filed a complaint against me and said that I sexually harassed her, and that it was something that it was I
Wow.
forgot exactly what they were saying that it was immunity, opportunity or some shit like that. And I'm like, what? That's far from the truth. So they do their interview, and you know what they told me, bro? They said, Wyatt, you've been down here for years. I can't believe we've never had a charge. We've never had anybody complain about you like that. We just find
Wow.
that hard to believe. And when she came in with her mother. And here's the thing, bro. The day after she left the office, this is a true story. My guy, y'all, some of y'all know my, a guy, a coworker of mine. He's not a coworker, but he had his own office. That young lady and her mother was at my office, and I wasn't there yet. And they knocked on the door of one of my agents, and the agent had a conversation with the mother and the girl, and they were like, "Look, just tell Wyatt to give us a call, and we'll get this all worked out. It won't cost him that much." See what I'm saying? And I'm like, "Whoa, wait a minute. What? I don't even know who these people are. I didn't even, you know what I'm saying?" They was trying to shake me down. So I know that these things happen, and I know it can go to the police, and I know how easy it is to get false charges put on you. But here's the thing, bro. The investigator who I talked to, one of them was a importunity. Thank you, Emmanuel. One of the young ladies, one of the investigators happened to be a black lady, and her partner rode out to my house to interview me for the second time. To my house, my wife wasn't home, and when I invited them in to talk, and I'm like, I don't know anything about what this is. And they said, "Look, we're just doing our due diligence. We understand that you don't claim this to be true or whatever, but we're just doing what we're supposed to do." You know what, bro? I didn't have a problem with any of it. I had a problem with the fact that this young lady did all of that dumb shit, but I had no problem with those officers doing their job. You know why? Because for all those years, I had never been in a position like that, and they wouldn't have been able to go conspire a story and have 15 young ladies come back and say, "He did that shit to me on this. I just didn't say nothing. He did this to me. He did that to me." Nobody would be able to confirm her story because they could say, "Yeah, he did that to me." So if Bill Cosby didn't have all these women he was doing drugs with, he wouldn't have been in those situations. If R. Kelly didn't have all these people that he had in contact with, underage people, he wouldn't have to defend himself there. Do you understand what I'm saying? If Diddy didn't have 42 witnesses saying how much of an asshole he is and how he sexually abused these people or whatever he did, he wouldn't have this stuff over his head. You are your track record. That's what you are. And the more that you have dirt on you, the more the easier it is for them to stick something on you. But if I don't have anything to hide because I haven't done anything wrong, then take me to court and watch how long it lasts. Diddy was found guilty on some of this shit. Do you understand what I'm saying? He was found guilty on some of this stuff. And I'm going to be honest with you. You can get guilty out of a trafficking charge. Is that you running water, bro?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, it just sounds funny.
I'm sorry.
He's been found guilty on duplicate charges. One was more severe than the other. It's almost like going to jail and saying, "Hey," or getting a charge of murder in the first degree. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute, I didn't intentionally do this. But then he's found guilty on involuntary murder. See what I'm saying? It's like I actually killed somebody, but I didn't do it intentionally. That's kind of like what they doing with these trafficking people. Like, I traffic, but I didn't have a racketeering. I didn't have a big business of it going on. I wasn't employing people other than the person I was paying to have the sex. But I didn't have like an assembly line. I didn't have people working for me. I didn't have recruiters. I didn't have stuff like that. They couldn't pin that on him. They couldn't prove it. But you can't tell me that he didn't have that type of stuff, bro, because Diddy didn't go. He didn't go out there and search for the women. He had other people do it. And that is racketeering. But just nobody would come forward on that.
Right.
I guarantee you that he did. I guarantee you that he's guilty of that shit that they said he did. I guarantee you.
He did. Because, well, like Mary J, all of them was around him. They knew what he was doing. Well, they ain't folding everything. Like, no, I ain't getting into that. They could have been called witness and all that to the stand, but
So Twin, I need you to remember something that you brought to the table of this conversation. Then when I got to go, remember you brought up Russell Simmons. Remember you brought up R. Kelly. Remember everybody that you brought up that was holding cases, they had something that these people could hold over their head. Their behavior. And if we just don't involve ourselves in these behaviors and we just get to the qualm and build our businesses, but see, they don't allow people, straight shooters, to get to that point. They don't want. If Diddy was a straight shooter he would be doing different things in the community, and the political party wouldn't have him, and the influences, because you got to keep in mind he was attached to some political names.
He was gonna make his own political party.
Well, I don't think he
and
was ever.
He was on his way. I don't know if it was going.
No, I don't think they were worried about that. I think they were more worried about. I think the people that wanted him to stay in a certain place. I think it was all about, look, we can't let this guy. It's like this in business. Certain people don't want you to know certain types of business, all right, because they're afraid that you'll teach other people. It's just the truth, bro. Certain people don't want you in certain industries because you will allow other people to get in that same industry, and now you'll start servicing the people like black people are being withheld in these industries by other black people. That's what we don't really see it that way. Like, we'll sit back and talk about the white man, but yes, it is the white dude, but they're also using a black dude or a black woman to keep us out of those industries by making that person what we call a gatekeeper.
Yeah, that's true.
So all I'm saying to you is, Diddy, in order for him to be who he is, this high statute person, he had to be who he is. And all the freak offs and all the shit that they can hold stuff over his head. He had to be that, because I don't know any of them that don't, you know what I'm saying? That's the only one they're going to choose. That's what even Kanye West was like, bro, I'm not no slave. I'm not a slave to them. They got Jay-Z. They got Beyonce. They got those people. They got them. They don't have me. And when you start talking like that, you sound crazy as hell. They make you crazy to your own people.
Right.
That's why when he wanted to do Yee, and the people got to him and was like, whoa, we got to get to Adidas. We got to drop this motherfucker because he can mess around and be bigger than Adidas.
Well, he shouldn't have been acting like he was Jesus and stuff. So God got to him too, allowed them people to shut him down. He thought he was bigger than talking about he Jesus and all that. And God shut that down real quick. Okay, you think you more powerful than me? Okay, we go show you. And he sent them people out there. Them Jews shut him down. You are not selling them ugly Yeezys no more. He was quiet. And then he want to be straight and everything else now. He been quiet lately. He ain't been like he's doing his cousin and all that anymore. So he been quiet lately. He got a new album coming out with somebody, I heard.
Yeah.
So he been quiet. So when you talk about them Jews and all that, hey, off with your head. See Nick Cannon, what he did, he apologized. I'm sorry. They get my wild life, wilding out back.
That's a great analogy. That's a great example. Nick Cannon was somebody that they actually owned all of his content.
Exactly. What he said, I'm sorry for what I said, but you let what's his name, Kyrie Irving talk about the Jew. They go, he's injured now. He can't play. They shut him down. But who established that though? It was Jeff Bezos or Jeff Bezos, whatever his name. They came out with that saying something about the Jews, the movie, whatever it was. All that had started from the get-go and all that. I think it was Jeff Bezos, one of them. But he said something about the Jews or whatever, the movie or something. I forgot how it went down. I'm like, how they go come at Kyrie about the situation when it was Jeff that, started the stuff or whatever the case may be. The movie or something it was about when he was talking about he was anti-Semitic and man, I don't know. But yeah, man.
Well, that's it, twin. I mean.
Yeah, ain't nothing else. Hey, what you doing this weekend, man?
Chicago, bro.
I thought you was out in Florida, Miami or somewhere.
I am, but my wife and I are going to Chicago. Man, I told you yesterday we were going to Chicago for the 4th of July weekend. I even asked you if you were going up, if you were going to go to Chicago.
No, I wish I could. I use my sick days. I want to take off so bad, but I know I'll be fired.
Hey, Jay Rhodes said the new EP is with King Combs, Diddy's son.
The new what?
The EP. I guess that's the new Kanye West.
Yeah. It was something like that. He was coming out with his song about some new music or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all like that, man. You on tomorrow, man?
Yeah. I'll be on. I'm leaving.
No, I'm gonna chop it up with you tomorrow, man. You be safe out there downstate. So whatever.
All right, brother. You too, man. You have a good evening. Thanks for engaging with us,
Twin. Try. All right, Claire.
Appreciate it. That was Twin. I appreciate him calling. Like I said, my phone lines and all that stuff is a little messed up. Internet is a little bad, so if it's choppy, My apologies. Doing the best I can. Excuse me. No sense in seeing me today, boy. I tell you, all I have right now is the computer camera. I don't have my 4K camera thing. I only have the computer camera. So unfortunately, you don't want to see me right now anyway. You don't want to see me right now anyway. I am a little late night. Let me go to the phone lines. Let me get back to the phone lines. Let's hear a little bit more about how people feel about this Diddy situation. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with? Hello?
Yeah, Wyatt live.
Yes.
Yeah, this is CK Wyatt live.
CK, what's good with you, brother? How you feeling today?
I was just listening to Twin. He was on your platform. I just heard Twin on your platform.
Yes. What's good?
Man, I was calling you about the Sean Combs verdict, sir.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about today, man. What's on your mind about it?
Remember, I told you he has a clear. He got convicted on the Jack Johnson law, right? Or did he beat that one?
I'm not quite sure. I don't know what's that statute in New York. I don't know what the Jack Johnson law is.
That's the he got convicted of the prostitute.
He got convicted of the what? Prostitution?
Yeah, that's what he got. That's what they got him on, right?
Yeah, I believe. Let me just say, he was found guilty on transportation to engage in prostitution, and then transportation to engage in prostitution. Yes, 2 counts of that out of the 5 counts.
Right. So I say with that, he has a clear case to beat this on a acquittal. And I don't acquittal on the what you call it, appeal.
On an appeal.
You remember?
Well, yeah.
They don't have that. How can you get them on prostitution, sir?
Well, I'm sorry. Repeat the question.
You have no clear case of how was he convicted on prostitution. They never proved their case, sir.
I think they did.
No, remember, she got on the stand and she admitted to buying. So she picked him out. She paid him. So that means he's not the one soliciting prostitution. It's her. So you prove that he's not doing the prostitution, Mr. Wyatt.
No, I don't think that's the case. I don't think if just because somebody's with you and they select the person that y'all want to have this freak off with, that makes them, they're part of it, but it's really the person that's doing the paying.
Hold on, Wyatt. If I get these freaks I be messing with, and I'm paying these women, right? And then we go down. I can't then all of a sudden blame it on the woman I was with. No, they're gonna say that was your freaky ass. You was paying them. It's like the judge gonna ask me who picked the women. I'll be like, me. Who paid the women? Me. Case closed. So now because it's a pretty face again, you want to throw out facts. That's not guilty of prostitution. She's telling you on the federal stand. It's not him, it's me.
Well, I think you might have, you do have a point, but now let me explain something to you. Remember the Epstein situation where the guy who owned the island and he was bringing young girls in and they were paying the girls, and that was a prostitution ring as well that was going on, right? The young lady, the girl that he was messing with or who he was cool with, she was actually selecting the young girls and was recruiting. All right, and she did get in trouble. I believe she's still in jail right now because of all of that. I don't think she's been sentenced yet.
25 years. She has a 25-year sentence.
Oh, she did get sentenced? Okay. So
she got 25 years, sir.
Yeah, I don't know if they had anybody like that for Diddy, like on the line. Like, I don't think that the Cassidy girl was doing exactly what Diddy was doing. I think, or what Epstein's girl was doing. I don't think Cassie was that. I think the lady that was working for Epstein was pretty much like the madame, if you want to call her that. And she selected the girls and she would influence them to come in and do things. I think Diddy was calling a service, and then he would, I think Cassie, from what I understood, Cassie would say, okay, we can get him, we can use him. I don't like the other guy, but we can get him. You know, I'm paraphrasing how that all went down, but I think she has something to do with what she was comfortable, who she was comfortable with versus, and from what I understand, she was going along with a lot of things that she wasn't comfortable with as well. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
But
you have
I
to
think,
go. Well, listen, Mr. Wyatt, you have to go with who introduced the freak offs. That is the $1,000,000 question.
well,
When you come with facts of who brought in this nasty, freaky way of living, that gives you the guilty person on the prostitution.
okay,
So who brought in? Who started this freaky stuff first? Was it Diddy or was it Cat?
All right, let me ask you a question. I don't mean to answer a question with a question, but I kind of want to pose a question to you, to your question, and it might answer your question. Okay, if I'm the drug kingpin, do the police want me or do they want the lieutenants? So do they want the person who's out selling the drugs for the kingpin, or do they want the person that's financing the drugs? So in other words, if I'm the guy who's financing the freak offs, do I want the people that's actually out there involved in the freak offs, or do I want the person that's financing the madness?
Right. You make a great point, but I want you to understand this is why he was found not guilty, because of the points I was making, because he is not guilty of what they were saying he's guilty of. It is her scheme. It is her mastermind. Her husband is the mastermind behind the manipulation.
I hear you keep saying that. I hear you.
Diddy has done nothing wrong. He's the victim. They was the freaks. Remember, the freak was brought to him. Remember,
no,
he wasn't the freak starting off. Who you thought the freak came to?
Wait a minute. Hold on. So you think that he became the freak off king? Diddy became the freak off king before he wasn't the freak off king until he met her? She turned him into a freak off king? That's ridiculous, bro.
I'm gonna tell you what happened.
That's ridiculous, bro, because he was
hold on. I'm about to give you the facts. You ready for the facts, the testimony? Are you ready?
Go ahead, bro.
Okay, listen. When he first started dating with Cassie, boom, 50 seen them together. He said, "Oh, Diddy, this your bride?" He's like, "Yeah, that's my woman." He sent Diddy a video of her philandering, right? And Diddy said, "Thank you, good looking out on that." That soon thereafter, the freak off started, sir. This is what he said. This is what she was into. She was into this freaky stuff. Then this whole concoction started. Then remember the fitness trainer seeing this going on, and like a real how the fitness trainers do, they steal you from your husband every time. We've seen it happen countless times again. He did it, and he took the money, and he incarcerated him. You must tell the public the truth. Do not hide behind this mainstream media. It's not true. He's the victim.
CK, I just think that y'all have it figured out wrong, bro. I think that Diddy is who
he is. I just proved it to you.
But Diddy's been this way pretty much before Cassidy even been in the picture, bro. You still have people like Making the Band and Cassidy Dane and all those groups. Cassidy wasn't around when those groups was formed, and she wasn't in his life, and those things was already.
And where was the freak outs at? Where was the freak outs at?
Those were already
nowhere to be found.
Yeah, that stuff was already going on before Cassidy was in the picture, bro.
You not giving the fitness trainer no credit for his.
The fitness trainer is the dude that pulled up on Cassidy, right? Is that the girl is that the guy that she ended up marrying? I mean, can't you do the math, bro? If they were already okay, but if he was already into that lifestyle before Cassidy entered the picture, how could you put it on her? Thank you, Jericho. It's Vanity Kane. I'm sorry. Thank you, Jay.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, Wyatt.
What are you trying to tell me, bro? You said no, it's not adding what you're saying. It's not making sense.
No, this guy dates the same type, the freak off women. He dates freak offs like porno stars. She's a porn star. He brought her into the loop. The fitness trainer seen a way to get rich. He gamed her, married her, got her pregnant, and got her to testify against.
Okay, all right. Then let's
But
just
remember
say
the
that
testimony. But remember that you can't get over the testimony that she paid him. She picked him out. You keep trying to put something on him that she said. I can see now. She
man,
would have
listen,
said,
bro, this is
"Listen, I
getting
didn't
crazy.
have nothing to do. He
This
was
is
getting
getting
across."
crazy.
She let him off the hook.
It's getting crazy to me if you believe that a controlling man who kept her around to be able to control her and put money in her pocket, you think that she was reaching in her own pocket to pay these people for sexual acts? You really think she was pulling the money out for that?
She got the money. She has the money. Wyatt, look who
No,
she's married to. Look who she's married to. The king of rap.
she was
They're
not
the
married
king
to
of
him,
rap.
number
There is
one.
none higher.
Okay,
She has the biggest rap star
you trolling.
on her. No, listen. Her
You
boyfriend
trolling,
is
bro. You
dead.
trolling.
So she has money to spend on whatever. It ain't number $2,000. They don't know who they are. They're not paying them 20,000, 50,000. They only giving them 2,000, right? Only 2,000.
It don't matter. CK, the bottom line is Diddy was who he was before Cassidy came around. If he didn't live a certain lifestyle, they wouldn't have been able to set him up. All right, you can set a dope. Okay, if a drug dealer end up getting life in prison and he got set up that day, if he wasn't a dope dealer, if he wasn't falsely accused of something for doing something that he had nothing to do with, if he wasn't actually a drug dealer, they wouldn't have the records or the stuff to be able to pin on him. But since he got accused of something that he didn't do that particular day, but end up getting life for it, but that's the life that he lives, then I don't feel sorry for a person that's involved in something because they got him and had to set him up to catch him. I don't have a, I know that sounds crazy to some people, but I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a
And that's the
problem.
problem right there. That is the
I'm
problem that you don't
sorry.
have a problem because you are a black man and anything can happen to you because we are born in the slums.
Wait a
and
minute.
because
See,
we
there
have
you
to make
go.
decisions
There you
because
go.
we in the slums.
There
Now you
you
want to
go.
judge me for my decisions.
Wait a minute. Yes, people get judged for their decisions. Yes, and there you go.
You should not judge people
But
from the
wait a
slums
minute.
for their
Wait a
decisions.
minute, brother. You're
They
gonna
should
sit
not
here.
be judged
But
for their
wait a minute.
decisions.
Wait a minute.
A person from the slums is a victim themselves. You
Not,
can't put a baby on dope and then be mad they go up to be a dope fiend. Don't blame them for their
that's
conditions.
totally different than what we're talking about. That's so far different. That's
You just said blame the people, the victims. We are.
I said
Diddy is
blame
a
the
victim of
victim.
his success. He's a victim of his success. He's a black man.
Victim
You a
of
black
his
man.
success.
So you
Okay,
can get
bro.
set up just the same way
Wait a
because of
minute.
your race.
No. What I'm saying to you is when you look at one individual who has victimized so many people, to say that the person that's victimized so many people is the primary victim here, that's ridiculous to me.
No, we going by the legal premise of we would rather see 1,000 guilty men go free than one innocent man go to jail. I don't want him to go to prison for something he didn't do. I want him to go to jail for the murder.
That don't even meet the same factors of what you said has nothing to do with the situation.
I don't want an innocent man to go to prison, man.
Well, he's not innocent.
Convict him on his principles.
He's not innocent.
He was innocent of prostitution. She admitted she's guilty. Why isn't she in prison? Why would you give a criminal immunity? That's what you have to understand, sir.
Well,
why would you give? Because she's a woman and she's beautiful, and because most men want to sleep with her, they don't judge her by other human being standards.
Okay.
You judging her like, oh, look at Beyonce, look at her, she's so pretty. That's how y'all do her. But if y'all judge her like a regular person, that's why Diddy facing hell. He got set up by the fitness trainer.
How do you set somebody? Okay. Can you set somebody up who don't sell drugs? Okay. Let's just take my instance. The situation I went through. The young lady tried to set me up, right?
Mm-hmm.
She tried to shake me down, right? She tried to set me up. If I was living a certain lifestyle behind my family's back, if I was taking advantage of people, young people who needed my help, my services in the court system, if I was taking advantage of people, it wouldn't have been a shock to the police officers that got that when that young girl went to the police and said, "This guy did this to me." It wouldn't have been a shock to them because it's probably been heard.
Lied on you?
Yes, yeah, they lied on me. But what I'm saying to you is when you have 42 people come forward about Diddy, it's not just this girl Cassidy. It's 42 people that was willing to come forward and say what they went through.
Because we have to get rich, sir. It's self-preservation.
You don't get rich.
You have to say whatever. Yes, you do. You write books, sir.
Okay.
You write books. You do interviews on these podcasts. You go on podcasts and you tell your story and you get paid for this stuff.
Okay. Well, just for the record, just for the record, I haven't paid CK a dime to come on this podcast to talk this crazy. I'm just gonna let y'all know that now.
No, but I'm saying I'm not a person that's testifying against Diddy. You best believe anybody testifying against Diddy want an interview with Gloria Estefan. They want a book deal. They want to be on Shannon Sharp. That's why you say these lies.
Well, first of all,
they said that he was licking nipple off the sperm. Do you believe that? Do you believe he was licking that nipple off the sperm? No thoughts.
I don't even know what that is.
That's what they said in the testimony.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what that is, so I don't know if I believe it or not. I don't know what it is. I'm just a little naive, but I don't know. I don't even care. I don't care. I know that lifestyle. I don't know Diddy's bedroom. I don't know Cassidy. I don't know any of them. I know the characteristic of this type of individual, a controlling monster. I know what he's capable of by the history of the people, how he treated people that worked for him, the people that signed recording artist deals.
Charge him accordingly, sir. You need to charge him accordingly.
Wait a minute. The way he did people for their royalties on his label, the way that the rap industry looked at him, the way that even somebody like Mace came out against this guy who was owed $3 million and he never said anything bad about Diddy until Diddy opened his mouth about Mace one time. I believed everything Mace was saying about Diddy when he was talking about him. He stayed quiet for 20 years. And Diddy said something bad about Mace one time, and Mace went in on his ass about it all. He said, I walked in a few times and Diddy was getting it. He says a lot of things that made Diddy look real, like the allegations against him in these charges look real. It made him look very guilty. And Mace was saying this before charges or anybody ever thought. He said all this shit well before Cat Williams even said Diddy's name out of his mouth. And you got to look at the rap game. Those guys like Black Rob, what's his name? Can I Get Down?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, bro. There was Black Rob. There was what's his name who sung Can I Get Down? Get on down. Can I get down?
Oh, you're talking about Craig Mack.
Craig Mack said Diddy was sending goons at him, bro.
Yes, and he's a killer.
All these guys are dead.
Respect, but don't overcharge him in the
what
federal
about
case.
Lil Shine?
This is unacceptable, sir.
What about Shine? What about the kid that went to jail for Diddy on the gun charge? These are
another great play.
These are called crash dummies. When you align yourself up with crash dummies, you are a manipulator to the third degree. And when you that type of manipulative person where you stealing royalties, you doing the shit that Big Red did on the 5 Heartbeats, yeah, you have the ability. Yes, you have the ability of killing your girl, your baby's mother and shit like that. Yes, you have those tendencies. I believe that Diddy has done a lot of the things that he was accused of, and he violated black people. So I don't have a problem with this black man facing all of this this shit that he's going through.
But please listen to me. As federal government, you have a 99.9% conviction rate. So it is unacceptable for you to get only 2 convictions out of 6.
Did they get a conviction or not?
Huh?
Did he get did the government get a conviction or not?
They got 2.
Exactly.
Oh, you saying this? Oh, this go on
it go on as a win.
Oh, I got you. Okay. So you said it is acceptable.
Of course.
That's listen,
bro. I don't know why people think. Look, they do overcharge as well as the state. All right, but their conviction rate is based on their conviction rate. they win. They're gonna win. They're not gonna bring the case at you if they're not gonna win. All right, now
remember
appeal,
Herb Gotti beat him. Herb Gotti beat him. Herb Gotti beat him. Don't say that. Herb Gotti beat him straight up.
I didn't say that nobody wins. They not 100%. But if you really think about it, bro, I don't want no business with them because their success rate
beat him. Don King beat him.
There's
Wyatt
a little
beat
bit
him in his 8th round.
Wait a minute, hold on. What y'all got to understand is there's a difference between money problems, money crime, and like physical crimes. There's a
murder.
Yeah, there's a big difference, okay, between how they
Homicide.
prosecute. They're not bringing a murder case at you unless they got you. That's for damn sure. Okay, money crimes are a little bit easier because now you can pay. It's all about other people taking the blame on other things and this and this and this and that. And now you got people that's in place that can fall for the money. It's just a different prosecution. But any type of violent crime or drug related stuff where you know it dials into you, they pretty much gonna get you.
So how much time do you think we're looking at here? We're looking at what? Time served or 6 years?
No.
What's your prediction?
I think he'll get out. I'll be honest with you. I don't know this for a fact. This is my opinion, of course. I think he'll get out and he'll wait for sentencing, which could probably be they could push sentencing back for 2-3 months. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, he's facing, I believe, 10 years per count.
Whoa.
Excuse me. I think 10 years per count, which is up to 20 years or something like that. But I think he'll probably get something based on the fact that he's been in there, not from his own doing. I mean, he couldn't get out. So the government is definitely going to say, okay, we had him sit here on these charges that he could possibly spend his whole life. So I think they owe him. I hate to say it because I just bad-mouthed him. But if you can beat a case that you're facing life in prison, the other shit looks minimum. So it's almost worth him being able to get out, take care of his affairs, because the feds generally do that. Take care of your affairs and you show up for sentencing. And that's usually, sometimes they do that. In this particular case, he don't have a record because everything he's done in his life, he's been able to pay for somebody else to take the charge. That's why the dude went to jail for him on the gun charge in New York. He did like 10 or 15 years for Diddy on that. Remember when him and J-Lo and all them was, look, bro, I know these type of dudes, bro.
Yeah, you got cats out here taking,
when you got guys out here taking charges for you and all that old shit, yeah, you a monster. You a monster.
Yeah, that was but you gotta understand with Diddy, I just wonder, with him being locked up so long, do you think he's gonna go back to the dark or he gonna go gray when he come out? Because he has a little time to be out in public.
That's gonna be the last question. That's gonna be the last question of the day for you, CK. I don't know. I don't know if he'll go, I don't know if he's gonna go gray or whatever. I know where he need to go. He need to go sit his ass down somewhere. I don't understand how somebody could live in 100.
You want him in prison?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I don't. Oh, okay. Donna said he did 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years.
Okay, and that's a long damn time to do for somebody else. Okay, that had nothing to do with it. I was hanging with you.
But he the one pulled out the gun. He the one pulled the trigger, sir. He have to live on what he did, sir.
Who?
He did it.
Who?
Shine. He did it.
Come on, bro.
Shine.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Diddy and them.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Both of them.
I'm not gonna argue that with you, bro.
If we're gonna talk about it, we have to be honest. They both pulled triggers. He was acceptable for what he did. It wasn't like he was innocent. Don't do that. Don't do that now.
I don't understand how people could say accountability and one side get accountability handed to them and the other side don't. And you can argue, you can even say accountability. That makes no sense to me.
Because one is the boss and one is an employee. Simple, sir. Simple. One is the boss, one is the CEO, one is the employee.
So you believe that rich people and bosses should be treated different than everybody else?
First off, Shine pulled the gun first and shot the dude first. Hold on, I'm on the phone. I'm sorry. I was talking to my boss. Yes, sir. But yeah.
You fired. I'm your boss. You fired, CK. Get off the phone. Your ass fired.
Yeah, but I just want you to understand that Shine took the charge because he did it. It wasn't like he didn't do nothing. Yeah, Diddy shot too, but they both was in the wrong. One got off because they had more money. So
right.
Don't do that this time.
There you go. Like there you go. You just told the truth. They both did something wrong, but they were treated differently because one had a bunch of money. And I don't hear you arguing about how unfair that is.
No, it's not. It's not unfair. It's the world. It's America, sir.
No. Okay,
everything is corrupt. This is the world we live.
Everything isn't corrupt.
I was born to die.
Okay, I was born to die too, but everything's not
We
corrupt.
black.
Huh?
We black, so
man, please, bro, y'all kill me with that shit, bro. All right, black man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for engaging with us, CK.
I appreciate everything.
I can't have a vacation without y'all busting my head up. I try to get away for a couple days. What was I thinking coming on here talking about this shit? What was I thinking? Oh, I can't wait to put some water on my head. Y'all should see what I look like right now. This is ridiculous, man. I don't understand how people could come in and not understand that. Well, look, Diddy's going to have to be accountable for what he did. He still got 2 charges of guilt that he has to be sentenced for. And I understand that the severity is not, it's not as high as the one that he was found guilty on. I get that. But what I'm shaking my head at are the people that are defending someone who drug people, like drug them. Like, everybody seen that Cassidy girl get beat up in the hallway. That's one thing. I ain't seen no domestic violence. I think that's been dated out, though. But I haven't seen anybody. Do you know that men that act that way to everybody? The powerful ones, the rich ones, like they will do that shit to men because they know men. Now, Diddy couldn't do that shit to the rap game because there's some dudes out on the streets that was like, look, but here's the thing. In this street game, I'm not for the record, I'm not a street dude, but I know how the streets run. Diddy got way more. It's big bank, take little bank. You can't put a jersey number on Diddy because whatever you pay to get Diddy hit, Diddy could pay twice as much. He'll buy your hit. So you can't put nothing. You got to go do it yourself if you got a problem with Diddy because nobody's going to take that contract. You know what I'm saying? He can't owe me $75,000 for writing a tune for him, and then I go give a dude $5,000 to knock his head off. You can't do that with Diddy because Diddy gonna give him $15,000 to knock your head off for trying to get at him. That's not how them streets be working. Ain't nobody trying to get the money man. All right, they ain't gonna do nothing to the money man. And it works that way at so many different levels with these guys that have money. Y'all think because this girl then had a baby, then went off and got married, like CK's logic is, she set him up. Him and the personal trainer, her new husband, set Diddy up. How could you set somebody up for some shit that they ain't actually out here doing? I ain't never heard. I've seen drug dealers get set up, but it's because they drug dealers. I've seen people get set up because of what shit they've been doing. You can't set somebody up. I can't go to Emmanuel Livingston's house. And first of all, this ain't gonna make sense to a lot of people. I can't go to Emmanuel Livingston's house and put an ounce of dope in his house, leave, call the police and say, Emmanuel Livingston got an ounce of dope in his house. That's the supplier right there. Number one, they ain't gonna believe me because Emmanuel Livingston's name does not pop up on the streets or they got so many people working for him on the streets that they know who the guys are that they need to get. They just need to get them a certain way. So if I'm trying to set up Emmanuel Livingston, who is not a drug dealer, it's going to be very difficult for me to do that because the streets already know Emmanuel Livingston is not in the dope game. I'm doing some shit to distract away from me and put it on him, and the police are not stupid. They know that type of shit go on. But in Diddy's case, if I go and I tell on him, he got a whole lot of shit he got to hide that he's actually been doing. He's the drug dealer that actually sells drugs, and that's why he has to be careful who comes in his house and stuff so he won't get set up because they know that the police will set them up because they can't catch them. They got too many do-boys, too many crash dummies that'll take the charges for them. So, no, I don't feel sorry for a motherfucker that's out here that can't get caught. That's crazy. I don't feel sorry for the guy that can't get caught. I feel more sorry for the people that have been victimized, whose dreams They had to go through this type of stuff to try to fulfill their dreams. And when I see you crashing people's dreams and owing them royalties and doing things that you've done, it only proves that you have a track record of being a monster. That's what it proves to me. I don't feel sorry for him. I didn't know you was here, E. I'm sorry. You caught me talking behind your back. He said, wait, Wyatt is in the way. What? Oh, I say my screen. He said, wait, Wyatt is in his way to my house, on his way to my house to plant some drugs. What the hell? I'll be there tomorrow. Don't let me in. I'm just saying, man, you got to break it down sometime for some people. Now y'all think that because I say something about Diddy, I'm attacking a black man. What about the black man who now had to resort to taking the last little 10, 15,000 they have in their life because they was on his record label. And now in order to feed their family, they got to go out to the streets and do what they were doing before they really tried to go the straight way, do things right in life. So now they want to take their last little 10,000, maybe 15,000 and go out here and get in the dope game because they're getting cheated in something legal. Have you really thought about that? See what I'm saying? It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Yeah, we don't want to talk about the people. What about the 14-year-old girl, 15-year-old girls that R. Kelly was messing with who thought that they really stood a chance at being a recording artist and all he was doing was playing games with them? Yeah, we can blame their parents, but you don't feel sorry for those 14, 15-year-old young ladies? That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, I'm at the top of the hour. I had no intentions of going this long. I'll do my best to try to come on tomorrow, but I got to take a break. I don't know, bro. It's like, it's hard for me to feel sorry for Diddy. And it's almost crazy that you have to break it down and talk to people, tell people like, hey man, I don't feel sorry for Diddy. And I do feel sorry for the people that you think running off trying to get, they're trying to get paydays. It's not always like that. That's not always the case. Sometimes people, been cheated enough where when they do come forward, they probably just doing it because they don't, they just trying to make things right. Like if he cheated me out of my royalties, I don't know if I would be in there trying to pay him back because I can't do nothing to him on the streets. So I'm gonna tell my story of how he got over on me. Last call before I get out of here, man. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Ron.
Hey, Ron. How you doing today, brother?
I'm cool. But one question.
Sure.
What about the kids?
Which kids?
The kids. All the kids that Diddy was supposed to have in the undercover and the freak offs and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
What about the kids?
I can't answer that because I don't know.
And that's the trick. And that's the reason that he get beyond. Because when the feds bring a case, it's gonna be some extenuating circumstances for him to like get off. I mean, when what was that? Who was that rapper that went to who had that racketeering case down in Atlanta? Shit. Young Thug.
Okay.
Now, when Young Thug had that case, I mean, they had everybody. I mean, that case went on for ages.
had everybody testifying. They had all the business out there. But of course, that was that was a fair case too.
I
And
don't know which one you talking
no,
about. The one in Georgia?
yeah, I think that was a fair case.
I'm not quite sure, to be honest with
It
you.
was a racketeering case. That was a racketeering case. It was only
That can
feds can
only
only
be
bring a
fair.
racketeering case.
I don't
I
even know what he was
think.
charged with, to be
But
honest with you.
no matter what, they brought in all that stuff, and all the things that they had that um, they were going to bring with that other dude's case, the dude that was working for Mossad. What's his name? That had all the stars, the island. You brought him up today.
Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah, Epstein. Now, all of those cases, everybody they brought forth everything. Grisland went to jail and all that other little stuff. They brought forth all the things that they needed to bring forth, but nobody talked about the kids. And they erased the kids and they erased the case. And it's a trick that Diddy gonna do. They gonna do the same thing with Diddy. And I told you that Diddy was gonna get off yesterday for this wise because of those kids and because them people got to figure out where he got them damn tapes because them fans got some tapes.
Well, let me say
But
that, Ron. Let me
he
say this
got
to you.
tapes too.
I'm not quite sure what that case was about. Okay, but let me just say this: a RICO. You said he was charged on a RICO case.
Yeah.
This thug dude you're talking about. That was his. What was his name? Young Thug.
Young Thug. He was charged with a RICO case.
I think that was
But
in Georgia though.
And it was in Georgia.
You said
but
that.
I mean, it doesn't make a difference.
Well, I want you to. I just want you to know something. I just want you to know something so you won't be thinking about it wrong. Because I don't know anything about that case, but you made a comment that's not quite accurate, and I just want to correct you so you'll know when you try to tell somebody the story. But if states do RICO cases as well, it's not just a federal case.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Well, like I said, the thing that was the deciding factor was the kids, and I think Diddy die of an accidental overdose if he get out of jail, because them people got to find out what he got. All of those people got to find out what he got, and they didn't get him in jail and get him to where they wanted to get him silenced. They go silence him another way.
So now let me ask
you:
Are you suggesting, Ron, that Diddy knows something about some people?
Well, I mean, they said that they recovered all of those videotapes, and Diddy said also.
So
he said it before. He said it before they even picked him up.
So what
he said on the steps.
Let me ask you, bro. Let me ask
you. Wait, just a second.
Okay.
He said on the steps with, I guess it's a little girl or one of his grandbabies or whatever. And he sat there and he read names. Oprah, Holder, there's a whole bunch of names.
Okay.
Dwayne Wade.
Right. I hear you. Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question, Ron.
He named names.
Okay, he named names. Let me ask you this question. You said that the feds went in and took videotapes, right?
Yeah.
So they don't need Diddy. They don't need his testimony. They don't need anything. If they got the video evidence, they don't need Diddy.
I know that, but
so why
like
would
I said,
so why would it matter?
But they said when in the beginning that it was horrific, and they had videotape with underage children here and all that other stuff. Where did they go? That's what I'm saying.
Well, I would think
what the feds got is one thing, but he also went to in the islands before he got back when they raided his home, and they don't know what else he has. They don't know what all videotape
Okay.
he
Okay, I'll
has.
give you that. They probably don't know, but I don't think that anything that they took from that house, I don't know if that played a part in the conviction of these 2 counts that he got convicted of. I don't know if that played. I think the testimonies played a bigger part. I think that down the line, those videotapes, if there's anything on it, like we all talking about, I think that's damaging to some other people. I don't know if it supports the case of what the trial he just went through. It might be damaging to some of those names that was mentioned, damaging for those people.
But like I said, to the racketeering case and all that other stuff, I mean, to the whole case in the whole, it should have had something to do with it.
Well, not necessarily.
And of course, if he's trafficking in underage children,
But
there has to be an age of consent. And if
right, but
they have freak offs in these parties, they don't. They're at an age of consent. They can give consent. They don't. You can't give consent when you're
no, I
underage. So
understand that.
it had something to do with it all the way, but they didn't introduce all of that stuff. That's what I'm saying.
Right, I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying to you is, if they really wanted to stick it to Diddy in this, no pun intended, that they would have used all that evidence and more. They would have hit him with a whole lot more charges. And
And of course, that's what I'm saying. Why? And of course, and they could have proved those charges. Why didn't they?
now let's play devil's.
Why didn't they?
Let's play devil's advocate one time. I'll play devil's advocate with you. Why didn't they? That was your question? Because
Yeah.
maybe the videotapes are not criminal. Maybe the videotapes are just of people who are involved in this behavior, this sexual behavior, but they're not breaking the law. Maybe it's not children on there.
If you have children,
wait a minute, Ron, you're assuming that there's children on the tape when you argue that point.
They said that they were children in the videotape.
Who said it?
Jesus.
No, Ron. I'm not Ron. Ron.
When they gave the news conference,
Ron.
When they gave the news conference,
Ron, I'm only asking because I don't know. Okay, and I'm saying
when they gave the news conference,
okay,
they rolled out all the evidence that they had against Diddy, and they said that they were going to charge him with, and they said that it was children in the videos and all this shit, and that they were horrible, and that they were horrible. Now, obviously, they had to do their due diligence if they're trying to bring fair charges. Obviously, So, I mean, they didn't see a 9-year-old and mistaken for a 20-year-old, or mistake a 20-year-old for a 10-year-old. You know what I'm saying?
I understand. I just don't.
Okay. So what I'm saying, and it's something, it ain't nothing. It's just an opinion. What I'm saying is, like the Epstein case that had high profile people in it, and it was people that could be indicted for things that were in higher places. It was just like Diddy's situation, and I don't think that they wanted to do that. It's just like they did with the Epstein case. And like I said, just like Epstein ended up dead, I would not be surprised if Diddy ended up mistakenly overdosing or something like that, died in a car crash. I definitely think he's gonna get out. Definitely think he's gonna get out.
All right, Ron.
Because like I said, I think that they want to know where those tapes were that they didn't recover.
Okay. Ron, I gotta go, man. I appreciate your call. Don't be a stranger, okay, my friend? I appreciate you engaging with us. Thank you. Point well taken. I understand. Thank you, brother. All right, fam. I got to get up out of here, man. I got something I got to do at 3:30. I got to get on my conference call. Peace and love to everybody, man. Go check out Emmanuel Livingston over on the Afternoon Experiment. Peace and love to everybody, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here on Wyatt Live. Peace and love to you all.
World at my sneakers, gold pieces molded with Jesus features. Give streets the fever from the way I spit the ether. Came on the scene at 19, a gritty fiend for money, power, respect. Get it by any means. New Yorker slick talker, walk like a brick flipper. Decimal doctor, multiply to get richer. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm the heart of the city. I'm a part of the sewers, I'm the honorable Diddy. I taste the dirt in my sweat, that's from the Harlem struggle. All in my swagger, that's the reason why I got my hustle. I got the highest stature, Miami diamond flasher. I got you caught in the most flyest and stylist rapture. My signature next to Christopher Wallace, get it honest. My first album due to him, that was my biggest project. Now I'm the illest loner, walk like the illest soldier. And when I smoke, only roll up with the illest. What? You sit and mill it over, my venom, a killer cobra. It's Harlem, USA, I did bop and shop with Oprah. Yeah. What? Still an eye blacker, open-handed face, the palm smacker. Right. Good scrapper, cat stacker, good wood packer. Tear up the Don P rappers faster. Platinum Patron splash. Chris spit at ya. I call it rich ignorant laughter. Black American Express card, all gray now. It's scratched up from constant usage. Girl kidnapper, pop tags, off tags, papa making monster music. And still I coast to Nostra. Big roaster, skin cola. Girl, when I send for you, bring friends, won't ya? I'm from the 80s, NYC, 5% culture. Breeze through with that old school blue Nile aroma. Wrist glowing, holding, fly off in a Boeing, slide off with your and spend 6 figures on her. My persona, Sean John, unforgivable Kelowna. Copping the biggest diamonds makes me sort of bipolar. Ferrari the Phantom, vehicles for high rollers. The studded chain around my neck, it makes the night colder. Yeah. What? That's on everything I love, man. Hey, yo, the Queen's Trick Keeper, Mets hat rocker, pretty slobber, ex-robber, heister, my own life biographer, pen sagging, Bentley whipping, summer jam stopper, Tim Chuck wearing, cran apple vodka, then I spray choppers, a doctor in the jungles of Haiti made me, draped in paisley, bandana suits with Adam Stacy, cigar like Dick Tracy, it's dark I get spacey, alcohol and lace, that was part of my 80s, the Cartier consigliaries, Miami, canary arrow cuts in my penny daily, Liz Taylor tried to jukes me, cause I keep it green like the other side of Bill Bixby. When he gets mean, think fast for I blast like grassy knoll. We're from scraggly old clothes to the illest fashion, the realest rapping. Pablo back on the scene, won't roll backward with green. Strictly paper, cruising through the strip in Vegas. Two of New York's biggest. Y'all used to hate us, but now you love us. Nas and Diddy, power hustlers. Yeah. What? Come on. I shed my blood. Come on. It's on everything I love. It's on everything I love.